This is the Theta Network 1 month overview reading for the month of January 2025. It's currently December 25th, 2024, 12:28 a.m. Eastern Time. That's a Merry Christmas to everybody celebrating Christmas. Happy Hanukkah to everybody celebrating Hanukkah. And if there's a holiday that I've left out, please excuse my ignorance. With that said, I've got quite a holiday gift in store for you guys. Looking at this Theta January reading, the Magus card in the theme position, crossed with the Truce and the Signs card in the High Significator, guys. This is saying this is going to be a major high, a major move to the upside. And then what do we have for the sneak preview card for February? The Swiftness card, a fast sudden move higher. So it's looking really good, and we're going to get into it. If you're new to this channel, we're going to cover the theme, the information about the chart behavior for the high of the month, the low for the month. We're going to give you one of the best trades, and we're even going to go through day-by-day chart behavior, the sequence of chart events. It's not always like exact to the day. Sometimes one card's energy will be like 2 days, or two cards energy will be half a day, but the order in which all those sequences of events happens will remain accurate. So it's important to understand that stuff. Just one more thing, looking at the 2025 Theta reading, which you can check out the full reading on our channel, or if you've got the subscription, the Total Access subscription on our website, you've got access to this Theta reading. This thing is about to take off, guys. For January, we've got the disappointment card in the early part of January. The disappointment card as the low significator cross reading correlation for the January reading, stating that the low for the month is going to be early on. We've got the Fool card and an indication of a high for the month at the very end of the month, with this unexpected move to the upside out of the low. So it looks like failed attempt to break through resistance that we expect to break through. We turn around, we decline into the January low. There's a sharp drop into it. And then we turn around with this unexpected move to the upside that takes us all the way through the Fool card move to the Science card, my friends, right here in the early part of February. The 1 year readings, you have to give them plus or minus 2 weeks of wiggle room in some cases for the same reasoning, plus or minus 1 day of reading on a monthly. But with that said, the Signs card is the High Significator. I mean, it's so clearly going far to the upside, guys. I really think we're going to see somewhere around $5, probably before February, but at least by February. And then that would probably be the first place that in 2025 that you probably want to take profits or protect your position if that's possible. All right, so let's get into it, guys. So the overall theme and behavior, that theme card, or the theme card being the Magus card, this is the Magus card is often what we've been waiting for. It's not the easiest card to describe in a general form, but under specific circumstances, it becomes a lot easier to identify its meaning. And in this case, what it's really saying is this is the move we've been waiting for. This is the move that we've been waiting for, guys. For those of you that have been sticking through all that trouble we had with Theta earlier in the year, oh my God, so frustrating. But it looks like we've come back, and it's now on track. It's following our ellipses and all that. So the Science card, a significant price level on a 1 year chart scale, significant technical price level. The Science card often is indicating some sort of important high. When it's in the High Significator, clearly that's what it's indicating. So this will be important high on a multi-year scale here in January. And then again, we've got that failed attempt to break through key resistance, decline through key support into the low, probably early in the month. The timing of the highest highs and the lowest lows, as well as all of the trades that we see, the access to the live Discord trade alerts, live updated trading view charts where we draw the entry and exit, all that stuff, that's all part of the monthly access subscription. I'm going to show you guys how to get that at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. It's really a game changer if you're serious about trading this type of information, which we call SO meta analysis, for those of you that are new. All right, guys, so let's get into the day by day. So we have this decline on the first, to revisit an important support level on a multi-day scale that was recently a past opportunity. And let me just add in here, guys, when I talk about resistance, I talk about big moves. This is all on the scale of a multi-day chart with 1 day candlesticks, okay? unless otherwise specified. So we've got this decline revisiting the support level. And it looks like on the second we have a significant low on significant on a 1 month scale at least. Sorry about that, guys. I apologize for the lack of editing here, but we got to move fast. Information is way more valuable, I think, for anybody that's following the channel. For a newbie, they're like, oh, the editing sucks. See you later. Anyhow, on the second, important low, important trough on a multi-day scale, and then a lot of volatility and a lot of price change into a prominent peak on the third. On the fourth, there's also probably a trough in there on the third as well. Well, there's a low for the day on the third, probably midday. In any case, we go into this prominent peak on the third, and then on the fourth, we decline to and through support to meet another support. We rotate sideways along that support. Early in the day on the fifth, we have this big move breakout to the upside to a peak, and then it looks like that rally turns over, and we decline through key support. That's followed by... I'm so sorry. It's followed by... That's a little tricky there where the decline starts, but there might be a bit of a halting of a bullish trend. It's not going to be like a full-on like reversal. It's going to be the halting of a bullish trend. That's like a temporary thing. So we have this big move to the upside early on the 5th to a peak, probably halt there, and then we come back to that peak and maybe even slightly higher on the 6th. That's a devil card there on the 6th, so you want to be very careful. There's an intentional fake out or shakeout or some sort of tricky chart behavior. Somebody's doing something to try and create impulsive decisions on the part of the little guy, the retail investor. So be very, very careful. On the 7th, we've got a decline through multiple support levels. Decline continues into the 8th. And then we've got that full card move. A lot of price change to the upside on the 9th. A lot of price change to the upside on the 9th, especially towards the end of the day, taking us into a peak around the beginning of the day on the 10th, where we have mixed behavior back and forth through. We decline from a resistance, reverse at support, return back to that resistance, reverse and return back to support, like a sideways S. And then out of that decline, which it's usually to the downside at the end, out of that decline on the 11th, we have this unexpected move to the upside to another prominent peak on a 1 month scale. Some pretty notable price swinging going on there between the 11th and the 13th, with another trough early in the day on the 13th. There's just an unexpected move on the 11th into a prominent peak, and then we swing back down to the cusp, around the cusp of the 11th, 12th into a prominent trough. And then it's swingy. It's price swingy. A peak that forms on the 11th at a key technical price level on a multi-day scale. We should break through it momentarily and then break back down through it shortly thereafter. We have kind of like a rollover, a rally that rolls over on the 14th, where we're moving to the upside early in the day, and then we may drop pretty sharply on the 14th. That's a possibility. It's not something that I would rely on for like placing money on, because it's a little tricky, this indication here. It could have a lot more to do with February. It could be saying that the end of February is where there's a significant high. It could be saying that there's a low at the end of the day on the 14th. It could be saying both. So you need to be mindful of that. And then there's a resistance level on the 15th that's highlighted. We decline from that and then return to it at least once on the 15th. If not on the 15th, we'll probably have multiple failed attempts to break through it on the 18th, on the 16th. Prominent peak there at that resistance on the 15th as well. And then we have a rally on the 17th. Looks like it turns over on the 17th. There's like a brief... It probably turns over on the 17th because there's another move to the upside early in the day on the 18th. Likely a breakout of some kind, but that'll take place within a period of volatility there on the 18th. And there should also be a sharp drop that'll stand out in that period of volatility. And then we successfully find support on the 19th. That could mean, to the upside. It could mean to the downside. let's see what I can come up with for you there. Okay, so there's that breakout early in the day on the 18th, and then that turns into volatility, and there's a decline in that volatility with a sharp drop, taking us into the 19th where we successfully find support. A lot of price change on the 20th, and a prominent trough there on the 20th. So we probably start out to the moving to the downside early in the day, and then turn around and move to the upside. But you want to be very, very careful there, because that unicursal, sometimes a unicursal starts like at the beginning of the prior day that you see it, like, you know, it can be more than 1 day's worth of energy. So be very, very careful there. But there's a unicursal hexagram. So if that unicursal is a decline, it'll be a sharp drop. And if it's not a decline, then it's going to be marking off a price level that we should decline through in the next like major downturn in Theta. I do see price swings in there, so be very, very mindful around that unicursal. There's price swings there on the 21st. 3 pokes through the same price level on the 22nd, followed by a sharp drop into a prominent trough at the end of the day on the 22nd. We rally, increasing with momentum, moving forward in time on the 23rd. On the 24th, we have a rally along a diagonal trend line that ends with a fast sudden move higher, and then a breakdown through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. On the 26th, we have a decline to and through support to meet another support. We then move sideways along that second support, trying to find direction before we continue to move lower through multiple supports into a prominent trough on a 1 month scale again. Oh my. So there's likely to be a really big move before that sharp decline. So a peak at the end of the day there on the 26th and a decline. Look for a lot of price change to the downside there on the 26th. And then it gets really crazy, hectic there on the 25th. We have erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level. There's likely to be a pretty big move into a peak before the first half of the day is over. But there's going to be back and forth there around the 26th, 27th. There's something significant going on there, guys. Be very careful there. And then on the 27th, prominent move higher, full retracement. 28th, sideways fluctuating rally preceding a decline. Decline takes us, sideways fluctuating rally may very well take us into a significant peak early in the day on the 29th, or it might be that it turns over on the 28th, and in that case, this ruin here would be talking about February. But with that said, sideways fluctuating rally into probably a prominent peak with a sharp decline off of that, and then out of that decline on the 29th, we should have a big move to the upside from the bottom of a range all the way to the top of a range. That's followed by a full retracement back down again on the 30th, and then an unexpected move to the upside on the 30th as well, taking us into a prominent peak again on the cusp of the 30th, 31st, and then it looks like like the beginning of like a multi-day rally commencing again, or like the recommencement, probably a multi-day rally. Starting there on the 31st, with that sneak preview being the swiftness card. All right, so I'm going to give you one of the best trades that I see for the month of January, but before I do that, let's take a look and see how we did for December. So you can see here, guys, these are examples of the ellipses that you get as part of the monthly access subscription, which covers Theta and a bunch of other tickers. So I'll draw in like what we're expecting to see. Like you can see this we were supposed to see a turnaround within this green ellipse, and I placed it there on 11:30. So it was like we were right here when I drew this whole ellipse, and then I also drew this here on the 11:30 as well. So this trade is really coming to fruition, really solid. You can see I'm not always right, guys. I missed this entry point here. It came a lot earlier than I expected. But if you're seasoned at SO meta-analysis, then you would have entered knowing that we've already fulfilled this price level. That's definitely the type of stuff we're going to be teaching in the Investor Profit University, which we're going to be launching in 2025 in the first quarter, guys. So if you're interested in that, I'll show you how to sign up for information on that as well. This looks really, really solid. We had lows here, like a temporary low here, and then we had this high that came in around the 7th, right? Sharp drop around the 10th. Looks like it ended up being on the 9th, and that's what I said. Be careful with these unicursals because they can like start a day, like the prior day even. But that was pretty solid. We had another peak here. I was expecting a highest high there. Didn't come to fruition, but it did come to be a high. And then another prominent trough here on the 23rd. So this is looking really solid. And the interesting thing, guys, if you just watch the public version of this video, there's going to be cases where like, oh man, it didn't come to fruition. Like it happens, right? But the thing is, if you've got the subscription and you've got the live Discord trade alerts and live updated trading view charts, you're only using the public video as like a guide of expected things to happen. You're paying attention to the Discord because the true power of SO meta-analysis is in when you're wrong about your prediction. There's so much information. It's so easy to like redirect or recalibrate your expectation and get right back on track. Whereas like an average prediction is just predicting a high and a low. What happens if they're wrong about one of those? So what do you do? What do you do? You're like flying blind. Not with SO meta-analysis, my friends. So I'll show you how to get all that. But this looks really solid. And we had a trade here. It looks like we were a few days off, but this was that entry opportunity. And you can see how I have it here. Closed shorts right around here, open shorts up here or protection, closed shorts right here within this range. So people that have been following along on the Discord, they are even entering into, they either entered into it or they're waiting until like the 26th or the 27th to enter into it before we expect this big move and breakout to start right at the end of the month, guys. So look out for that. Theta's gonna go whoosh to the moon, my friends. And that's oh, and now let's give you one of the best trades that we see for January, and I'll show you guys how to get the subscription. Okay, so there's a pretty good trade here. I'm going to give you entry and exit. It's important to understand, guys, if you really want to trade this information, you should be following along on the Discord. Like, this is for entertainment purposes to show you that this stuff is legit. But like, if you've never traded this information before, to just be like, oh, he knows it most of the time, let's just bet the house, you would be an absolute fool. It is so much more complicated than just knowing up and down. That's why people who are good analysts are not necessarily multi-mega millionaires, because it's about psychology, my friends. So don't try to attempt to do that on your own. Just get on board with the Discord and we'll help you out. I got 25 years experience doing this. I'm literally the founder of this system. So I would go with this entry here on the 17th, exit on the 20th. It's important to understand, I'm going to give you some chart behavior leading into the entry point. If you insist on trading this information without my guidance, what you want to look for is this chart behavior to transpire as expected moving into the entry. If the chart behavior moving into the entry point does not transpire as expected, it's a clear indication that this is a failed trade. They do happen, guys. Don't be foolish. Bet responsibly, and you're going to come out on top the majority of the time. Way more than you won't. But if you bet like a jerk, you're going to end up with jerk results, you know? All right, so the behavior leading into the entry on the 17th, what we want to see is a resistance level on the 15th that's important with like a prominent peak there. There'll be a brief peak there. We'll decline from that through multiple supports, and we'll either return to the resistance on the 15th, or we'll return to it, or we'll return to it on the 16th, where we may see multiple failed attempts to break through it there. Rally on the 17th, we probably break through it actually into a peak on the. Hard to say if we break through it, but here on the 17th, there'll be a rally at least into midday. You want to utilize that rally opportunity to open up a short, open up a partial short because there's another significant move early in the day on the 18th. So if you open up a partial position and then this move is like really serious, you can then complete the position, and that way you don't end up getting scared out if you jump in with the full position before that second move, right? And so what you want to see is that rally into that, open up a partial. If we see another big move early in the day on the 18th, add to that short position, and then you're going to see volatility with a sharp drop. We establish support on the 19th, and then there's more decline on the 20th. I would not wait very long on the 20th to pull the trigger there. You might even, depending on how far we fall into that support on the 19th, you might utilize that support as an indication, as like an exit signal. Like when you see that we establish support there on a multi-day scale on the 19th, 20th, that's where you want to exit. Do not wait, guys. And if you do wait, don't get scared out with like some big move to the upside price swing, because again, we've got this universal hexagram decline that will likely take us into a trough on the 22nd. I definitely would not wait for this trough on the 22nd. This is what you call a backup exit. This is literally something you can only do with SO meta-analysis, backup exits. How could you do that with technical analysis? If you could do that with technical analysis, please comment below and explain it to me, because I must be a fool. Really, this is the only way you can do it with SO meta-analysis. There's a backup exit there, but do not wait for it. That's another rule of thumb when trading this information. Anybody seasoned in SO meta trading is going to know this. We'll be teaching people this stuff in the Investor Profit University. So again, I'm going to show you how to get that stuff. But that's one of the best trades that we see for the month of January. The timing of the highest high, the lowest low, and the remaining trades, all part of the monthly access subscription. Blessings to all my angel investors. I'm going to show you guys now how to get that subscription. All right, so you go to our website, Tarot for Traders, which very, very likely is going to be stockmarket.com by the time you see this video, but we'll have a redirect to it. Or stockmarketpsychic.com. In any case, you go to the Tarot for Traders, you hover over Order Now, click on Subscriptions. To get access to all of the content for Theta on a daily basis, we cover it by the month on a daily basis. Or we cover it monthly on a daily basis. I don't know how you would say, but we do the whole month by the day, every single month. We also do it by the year, with weekly increments, as well as all of these other tickers, guys. All of these other tickers are all part of what we cover. This should be USO. But all of these tickers and S&P 500 all covered with the monthly access subscription. You click here to subscribe. This is $300 a month. If you want to pay for it all in a year, we'll give you a discount. Like if you want to pay for a whole year up front, we'll give you a discount. Just message me. But that's how you get the monthly access subscription. And that's where you get the game-changing services with the Discord trade alerts, live Discord trade alerts, and then the updated trading view charts. That's how you stay up to date when things go awry as well, because the predictions, sometimes they go haywire for a little bit. As far as Investor Profit University, right here, you click on IPU, enter in your name, enter in your email. This is actually where you would enter. We wanted to make sure, so the university is most likely, it's going to be somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000 for the year, depending on how many people actually sign up. And we're going to limit it, but it'll be somewhere between 5 and 10 people. We want to make sure that this stays accessible to people that cannot afford that. So if we have 10 paying people, we're going to have 2 spots where if you are picked in this raffle, you enter your information and you get picked, you get tuition covered for the year. Please, guys, be respectful of people that cannot afford this. Be respectful of the channel for doing this for people. Don't try and, cut a corner when you can afford it. Like, really, that's hurtful to the channel. It's hurtful to somebody that could use it. I don't think people will do that, not our followers. But in any case, I just want to be really clear, guys. We ask you to upload an ID, because you can only enter this once. Anybody caught entering more than once in the raffle will be immediately disqualified. No questions asked. It does not matter who they are. All right, so please don't waste our time. We will be checking for that. And that's Theta for January 2025, my friends. Let me know what you think by hitting that like button. As always, make sure to follow that rule of karma. Blessings to all my angel investors. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'll see you guys on Discord with the monthly access info. Later.